Now you see everything in part 1. If you want to complete the project, check out part 2. Remember, all the tools and supplies you saw in the first image in this part 1 are available in my shop, either in my Etsy store, RomaZone, or my newly launched website, romazone.com. So let's move on to part 2. Okay, it's time to do the stamping. So I'm going to start on the bottom piece first. And you wonder, how do you get these aligned properly? I just use a very simple method. First, I count how many letters my bottom name or word is going to be. My bottom word is going to be RomaZone. That's 8 letters. And I say 4 letters are going to be on this side of center, and 4 letters are going to be on that side of center. And center being, if I just drop right down from this hole that I punched. So I'm going to use my Sharpie and just drop right down from center and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is going to be my stamping guide for the word RomaZone. Now, as you see I have some of the 2 millimeter stamps already laid out. And if you can see in the light, each one has a little Sharpie mark on it. And that is to indicate to me which is the correct position of the character. It's not really pronounced, but it's enough to see. So if you really get going in a hurry, you'll know what's going on. These first 4 letters correspond with the first 4 letters of these spots. R-O-M-A. And I like to lay out the stamps to get ready to go before I stamp. So let's go ahead and do some stamping. So, R. O M A. Okay, I'm ready to lay out my next 4 stamps. Okay, you can see I've got the next 4 stamps laid out here. So I'm going to go right to town. Z O come on, little bugger. N E. Alrighty. We're ready to do the next level of stamping. That will be the tool head wording. I'll line it out just exactly the same. Start from center. That would be the center space. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I just need to lay out my letters. Alright, I've laid out all my stamps right here, and I'm just going to go ahead and start stamping. So, T O O L H E A D. Okay, we've got tool head. Hee-hee! And of course, the very last stamping will be the initial stamp. That is done with the 3 millimeter stamp. The small letters are done with a 2 millimeter, and the initial stamp is done with a 3 millimeter. And of course, the 3 millimeter stamp needs to be R for RomaZone. Well, there we go. Press down, and got a nice little R. Now we're ready to move to the next step. Darkening the letters in and polishing and assembling. Now I'm going to darken in the letters. To do it a very quick and easy way that is not necessarily permanent but relatively permanent is to use Sharpie. So here we go. Make sure that you saturate each letter impression nicely. You may need to go over each one numerous times. Now let that dry. Now you're going to use superfine steel wool. You wonder what the difference is one steel wool and the other. Well, let me tell you. The very finest steel wool out there is superfine steel wool, and that's denoted by 4 zeros. If you use a less fine steel wool, you get a more scratched look. With a superfine steel wool, you're actually doing a polishing. So here we go. You want to polish the entire piece in circular motions. Get a smaller piece here. Go over your entire piece, circular motions. You can kind of see how it kind of is polishing already. See the difference in part of it? Yeah, that's the polishing. Phase 1 of the polishing process. You want to do that to all 3 pieces. Once you're finished polishing all 3 with the superfine steel wool, you're ready to move to phase 2 polishing. For this, we use the premium polish cloth, the red portion. I get some around my finger and I go and polish this to a nice bright shine. And of course, you do this to all 3 pieces. Around we go. And the last and final piece. And I get myself a new little section of red to do the copper. Oh, that's coming out really nice. That turned out really nice. Okay, and now we're ready to assemble. Let's close up. I'm going to use 2 flat mouth pliers. The narrow flat mouth nose plier and the bent nose plier. Here I have a 7.5 millimeter jump ring. I'm going to open that up, moving the ends opposed one another like this, like old-timey bar doors, like an old saloon. Like this, open it up. The first one I'm going to load is the R. Second one I'm going to load is the tool head in sterling. Third one I'm going to load is the Romazone in copper. Close up the jump ring. Make sure the ends are nice and closed. And you just made yourself a tri-metal pendant. You can put whatever words you want, names, places, dates. Sky's the limit. Have fun. And remember, Romazone's where you're going to find all these cool tools.